Good evening and welcome. You are tuned in and watching the Zone Blitz. This is the weekly Tuesday night webcast produced by NFL Female, www.nflfemale.com. Be sure to jump on our website and check out all the latest and greatest articles by all of our women who cover not only the 32 NFL teams now, but we also cover the divisions, and I am Sharona. I cover the entire NFL for NFL Female, and lo and behold, my first article of the season should be dropping sometime tonight, if not tonight, first time in the morning. It is your week 3. Holla at your girl. It is your week 3 roundup of what took place in the AFC through week 3, and Kate will be very happy to know that her Cleveland Browns were featured fairly prominently in that. And when I get to the NFC, I'll definitely have to take a look at my girl Sonja's Detroit Lions. But we will go ahead and get started.
Plays in the background when we read what you wrote about the Browns.
yeah.
Yakety sacks, maybe. That's one of my favorites.
I just chastised him a little bit for not starting Johnny Manziel.
Oh, baby, girl, that was the least of my problems on Sunday.
And I had to go in a little bit about Dwayne Bowe inactive and that. But anyway, we've got a great guest tonight. Troupe is going to join us. So without further ado, as I generally do, I'm going to kick it over to my girl Sonja to get us started.
Hi, everybody. As always, I'm Sonja. I'm the official NFL female fan reporter for the Detroit Lions. We'll talk about them really later. Always happy to be back with my girls, Kate and Sharona. Also glad to have Ben joining us because, well, we're fun. And what more fun is it?
We got to get more
people on the fun. So, Ben, we are so glad to have you. Can't wait to start talking about Tennessee, Florida, a couple other things as well. So
I'm crying.
Oh goodness. So we'll start out. We'll let Kate get in here, and then Ben will get over to you. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Cool. Kate, tell us about yourself.
Hello, I am Cleveland Kate, official fan reporter for the Cleveland Browns for NFLFemale.com. Huge Ohio State Buckeyes supporter. Don't see that in the background, because when you're a Cleveland Browns fan, you need something to keep you happy on the weekend. So for us, that's Ohio State football.
You've got the Cavs are back.
What?
The Cavs are back.
The Cavs are back. Preseason starts on October 7th,
yep.
And the regular season starts the 27th, but we found out today that Iman Shumpert needs surgery. He's probably going to miss a couple months. So we're going to be a little light. If you're going to play the Cavs this season, you want to play us in the first couple months because Kyrie, Kevin Love, and Shumpert will all be missing probably a month or two. So you want to be on the front end of our schedule because we're going to be kicking butt and taking names by the time spring rolls around.
Yeah, I'm excited. NBA training camps have started. I'm going to be talking about the NBA in the morning. So I'm a big Spurs fan. Go Spurs, go!
Pops the daisy. All right. Well, very, very good, very good. So, without further ado, Ben
Drum roll, please.
Drum roll.
What's up?
Ben!
Yes, what's up? What's going on?
How are you?
I ain't got no complaints. Got a big W on Saturday, so I'm all right. I'm all right.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah.
Just trying to do the radio thing. When I got my own Huddlecast now, me and my ex roommate / teammate Max Starks got a Huddlecast, Huddlepass.com, the Florida Huddle. I do a lot of I would say what would you call them? What do you call those things? Like if I'm on the radio, I'm on the radio a lot. Well, podcasting is one, but I try to keep myself active with NBC Sports Radio, CBS Sports Radio. I'm trying to be like y'all. I'm trying to do this radio thing on a regular basis. I'm trying to get somebody.
Someday you'll be big time like us.
Hey, listen,
someday you'll be like us.
A man can only dream that big though. That's way out there though. I try to keep them realistic.
Ben is fantastic on the radio, and so if you haven't had a chance to check him out, definitely do that. I was extremely fortunate to have him on my podcast, and he was a fantastic first a fantastic guest, and then he was the best co-host that, besides Sonja, that I've had, keeping me in line and stuff. And so I'm very fortunate about that. Ben, I have to tell you that Ben and I were chatting before the show, and it was a big win for Florida. Congratulations. I really like your head coach. I was not sure. Ben and I talked about that before. I wasn't sure. I wasn't at all convinced that they made the right decision. But Florida outcoached Tennessee, and that was a big reason why they won. And so congratulations.
Yeah, I wouldn't. You know what? The thing about us out coaching, I don't know if we out coached the team. I think what happened was Tennessee's the type of team that when you haven't beat us in a long time, you hoping to win the game. And I think at the end, Tennessee played to not lose, and Florida was playing to win. So,
Yeah.
I mean, think we went 6 for 6 on fourth down. We were atrocious on the first 3 downs. I've never seen a team.
Yeah.
I've never seen a team go for that many fourth downs. But unfortunately, when you got a team like Tennessee and the streak is big, I believe if Butch Jones didn't preach, let's be the team to finally break the streak, or if they would have really let Joshua Dobbs just throw the ball, it scared me to death if he would have thrown it. They should have let him cook. But at the same time, I'm happy that he did. I'm happy that Butch Jones don't know that he can go for 2. I'm happy that Butch Jones doesn't know about clock management. And Butch Jones, if I knew your address, I'd send you a bottle of sparkling grape juice. I'd do that for him. I would do that for him.
Ben summed it up perfectly. I mean, it was exactly that. And not to mention, the only thing that soft prevent defense does is prevent you from winning. And we started with it. We went with it. We were soft the entire game. And, really, Tennessee deserved to lose. So, yeah. Anyway, it's interesting times in the SEC, who do you think the best? If you want to say Florida, that's fine. But who do you think the best team in the SEC is?
I think it's a toss-up. If you're looking at the most complete team in the SEC is Ole Miss.
Yeah.
The most dangerous team in the SEC is LSU. Good Lord, they got a killer at running back and Freddie Krueger. This dude, And the mere fact that he's a true sophomore, the mere fact that he can't go to the NFL, he has to stay one more year. I think the Mad Hatter got him a great player down there. But the best overall team in the SEC is Ole Miss. These guys got a great quarterback play, great offense, great left tackle. I think their defense plays well as a unit. They don't really get a lot of sacks. But what they did against Alabama can't go unnoticed. But I think Vanderbilt was their trap game. I think they made it through that trap game though.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I completely agree. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead.
I'll never say Georgia, by the way. I do not like Georgia. I know they're a good team, but I can't stand them, so they will never get no love from me, ever.
No love from me. Ben, you're a man after my own heart. No, just say no to Georgia. Any team that woofs, that barks at its games, that there's something wrong with them. So let's get into some NFL talk. I'm going to turn it back over to Kate and to Sonja and let them ask you some questions.
All right.
What was that, Kate?
I'm going to try not to bark at her because apparently every time I bark in my dog pound at Cleveland Browns No Energy Stadium, I'm just...
See, I think... Is there something there? Maybe there's something there. I don't know.
I'm going to stop playing the Halloween music on third down. Don't get me started. Let's talk to Ben.
Yes, let's talk to Ben. Hi, Ben.
I heard you do some evening drive radio.
I do it every Wednesday afternoon with my friends BJ Ben and Matt and Kevin. I do it with it's ESPN Coastal Georgia. I've been doing it for a long time. Actually, those guys are really the ones that inspired me to do radio. You never know what you're gonna do when you come across people like that. And I've been learning from the ground up. I never thought that I would want to do it like I'm doing it. But hey, man, BJ and them was real good to me. Plus, they friends of mine, so they gave me real feedback. It wasn't that pat on the back stuff. If I sucked, they would tell me I sucked, and that's what I need the most.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
it's important.
And in a way, that's like football. That's the only way you're going to get better. People can't let you get away with the bad tackles and the bad comments or whatever. They got to tell you how to get it right so you'll get better. So that's cool.
Exactly. I enjoy it. I can take the bitter with the sweet.
Afternoon drive can be rough because you can get, especially if your team loses, whatever the local team is. I know the callers can be pretty rough in that time slot from just listening to what goes on around here. So that's an interesting time. I think nights are the best time because people are either, at work late and they're kind of tired and they've been drinking and they're a little funnier and a little mellower. Afternoon drive callers are very grumpy. At least in Cleveland they are.
They're grumpy.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's nationwide.
Well, people actually listen to the afternoon drive. If you late at night, you might get somebody calling from overseas or something. You got the better chance of not knowing. You might know the person who calling in on the afternoon drive. You might be like, Sharon, is that you? Like, yeah, this is me. Oh, okay. I thought that was you. So
Yep.
It's all good though. It's all good.
So how has the switch to radio been? Do you like it? Is it a challenge? Is it?
You know what? The biggest challenge for me is just making sure that it's a craft and making sure I do my part. Don't think that I know X's and O's and not come in with this type of demeanor that I know more than the next person. And what I realized about radio is there is no such thing as an expert on the radio.
Right.
You just got to be able to deliver the content, kind of know a little bit about the subject matter, and deliver it. I think everybody's delivery is different. But when people say he's an expert, I'm like, no, he's not an expert. Doctors are experts. Dentists are experts. People that do radio, we just like to talk on the radio. I mean, we like to talk about sports, different things on the radio. Like it's not rocket science. So that's the biggest thing for me too. And it replaced the game for me. When you play the sport like I did, it's hard to find something to replace it. Listen, man, when I'm on the radio, man, it's like I'm in the locker room again, man. I love it. And I like the fact that I can get people to respond based off what I say. People get super duper heated, so hey, must be doing something right.
Now, Ben, refresh my recollection. Did you play for anybody after you left the Titans?
Yes, I played with the Bucks and I played with the Raiders.
Raiders.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to meet Al Davis. So
That's pretty cool.
Hey, of course, that's the man. Al Davis, man.
He was the man.
He's in heaven right now with the Raiders jerseys on. It's not a game. It's not a game with him.
The Raiders are. I'll talk a little bit about
some steam.
Yeah, I mean, they've got some. They've got a nice possible franchise quarterback. He's looking good, and Amari Cooper, he's the real deal, and Latavius Murray and Khalil Mack, and
Hey, if the Raiders win the Super Bowl, the economy's gonna come back around. People gonna get jobs. You watch. If the Raiders win, that would be the best thing that ever happened to America. I'm telling you, it's gonna be the best. It's gonna take a lot of things to happen. Tom Brady gonna have to quit football, and a lot of things will have to happen. But I think they got a shot. I think they got a good nucleus of young players right now.
Let's not get carried away. We're only in week 3. We just, we're getting ready.
We're just getting going.
Week
just
4, it's early. No, let's not crown Tom Brady yet.
Hey, he's the man now. Listen. Tom Brady is the man for a lot of reasons, but at the same time, listen, as long as he got Gronk, this man gonna be just fine. You can give him a bunch of zeros. As long as he got 87, he's gonna be fine. He's gonna be just fine.
You know what? I'll bet you Josh McCown gets more fantasy football points than Tom Brady this week.
Who Josh McCown playing against?
The Browns playing against the Chargers. And I can say that because the Patriots are on a bye.
I think the Chargers are going to rebound. I do. I think the Chargers are going to rebound.
Are those new jerseys for the Browns they wore last week? Are those new?
Oh, yeah. They're trying to slowly make my orange look more like Tennessee orange. They already redid the scoreboards in the stadium for Jimmy Haslam. It looks like the state of Tennessee. They're these big slanted rectangle things.
That's because of Jimmy Haslam.
My orange is getting a little closer to Tennessee orange every season.
You don't listen. You don't want that Tennessee orange now. Ooh,
That's what you wear. Isn't that what they make those jumpsuits out of? That
you got to be bold and brave to wear it. You got to,
You have to have the volunteer spirit.
Uniforms, but like Sunday, it was actually 80 degrees here on Sunday, and they're in brown on brown, and there's just sweat rolling off of us. I'm like, you don't wear brown on brown when it's 80 degrees. I don't know who's picking what uniform colors and combinations, but
you don't wear brown on brown. You don't wear brown on brown ever.
Yeah.
But you don't have a choice.
Well, unless you work for UPS, but then,
It is. What is brown done for you? And
yeah, but UPS delivers.
Yeah, they do. UPS
That's right.
Deliver.
That's right. They do. Browns kind of, about that.
So,
I mean,
hey,
I really don't
tell-
have room to talk, so.
Oh man, you
Well,
got
there's
you're a Detroit fan, right?
Of course.
Listen. You know the thing about Detroit that bothers me? Matthew Stafford. They went to the toy store and they gave Matthew Stafford everything.
I know, right?
Every toy. He has every toy to play with, and he keep on breaking his toys. I don't know what he do with his toys. Why? Listen, if I'm the offensive coordinator, I'm doing run the ball, throw the Megatron. Run the ball, throw the Megatron. I'm just gonna throw it to him. I'm just gonna throw it up.
That's the thing.
Megatron's kind of looking washed a little bit.
He's looking a little washed, but that's because the offensive coordinator is not doing what Ben's saying. The offensive coordinator is not letting him throw to Megatron.
Fantasy football people are really mad because they seem to want to, run Joke Bell instead of Amir Abdullah, who everybody seems to think is better, and
he'll get there. I think Amir for sure will get there. And what?
He's going to quit fumbling. Dude's got to work on ball protection. He's got to hold on to the football.
He's got to hold on to the football, but then again, so does Bell because he barely.
I don't know why you're running the ball. I don't know why you're not throwing up jump balls to Calvin all day because he'll get it.
Yeah. Throw to Eric Ebron. Even Ebron looking all right this year. I like Ebron.
He's coming around a little bit, and I do. I like the fact that he is coming around. So that's very good. That's very good.
I have him on one of my fantasy football teams. Sonja, I dropped every one of the Browns that I have today just in case I am a fantasy football jinx. I got a petition in the mail yesterday with 50,000 signatures from Indianapolis asking me to drop Andrew Luck. So I'm going to probably drop him. If Ebron doesn't play well this Sunday, let me know. I'll drop him too.
Oh, honey.
I'm a jinx.
No, go ahead. I was about to say, they're playing in Seattle. Just take them off. Just don't even. Don't even.
Okay. And you watch. You'll have
just
3
bench him
touchdowns, and then you'll know it's because I'm a jinx.
I break wide receivers. I had Jordy Nelson. I've got Devontae Adams. I had who else? Oh, Dez Bryant.
Yeah, you broke them.
Yeah.
Sharona breaks her toys too.
I have 5 teams. I've got Andrew, Tony Romo, and Drew Brees.
Drew Brees.
See, yeah, you break people.
I have Drew Brees.
What about Jay Cutler? Don't nobody got Jay Cutler?
No.
He's my backup. I do. He's my backup.
I need some points.
Hey, you know what? Hey, it's only one thing about
OBGYN for his latest injury. He won't be back for a couple more weeks.
Jay Cutler's not the best quarterback, but Jay Cutler got the whitest chiclet teeth you ever seen. I don't know how he get his teeth like that. Like, I'm just saying, like,
hockey players with teeth like that, and they could take them out and show them to you. And I always thought that Jay Cutler had like dentures, like those weren't his real teeth.
He probably does.
He probably does have crowns.
Out for game day.
I mean, he went to Vanderbilt. He went to Vanderbilt, and I had to get a tooth canal in Vanderbilt. In Nashville, they got some real good dentists down there. They take real good care of you, so I can see him getting a hookup down there. That's all. That's the only good thing I have to say about Jay Cutler. The mere fact that Jay Cutler makes the amount of money he makes, and there are quarterbacks who are so much better. Oh my God, Jay Cutler knows somebody that I don't know.
Well, he's definitely better than Jimmy Clausen.
Jimmy Clausen's still in the league.
He is, isn't he?
Luke McCown has a commercial.
Yes, he does.
Whoever is his publicist, they earn their money. You hear me? Luke McCown got a commercial. And right after they
made that, what happened? He got
to play. and now that he's good.
They're talking about bringing Brees back this week.
Listen, if Drew Brees got to take 10 cortisone shots, he's playing this week.
Yeah, he is. He's playing this week. I won't be surprised.
Well, yeah, apparently things look a little bit better according to the one, the only Dr. James Andrew. I need to be his nurse practitioner. I'm sorry. I hate adults, but I would be his nurse practitioner.
Definitely.
Ben, I have a question for you. What was the hardest change in your life when you got out of football? What was the hardest thing to adjust?
Yeah, you kind of alluded to that.
Uncertainty. You really don't know what you're gonna do because you've done the same thing for so long. The NFL was a blessing, but you've been playing football since you were 7, and it's always been there for you. So when something you've always had is gone, what do you do? Yes, I mean it's one of the most scared times of your life, but at the same time, you know, people ain't gonna feel sorry for you. If people saw you on television, they'd be like, "Wait a minute, you can't find nothing to do." Well, I'm not gonna feel sorry for you, especially when you've been given the opportunity to really go out there and like make a living doing playing a sport. So when that's over, you got to say, listen, okay, what's going to be the next transition for me? But I think the biggest thing for me was I'm always willing to put myself in a situation that I don't know nothing about what I'm doing. So I have to learn learn from scratch. Most guys ain't gonna do that. Most guys, if they ain't comfortable, if they gonna look stupid, they ain't gonna do it. Looking stupid, looking dumb is what I do the best at. I'm the best at it. I am the best at it. But at the same time, I think people appreciate the fact that I respect other people's craft. If you've been doing what you've been doing for 20 years and I just started, I respect that. And I show you I respect that through the way the way I work. Most guys, man, listen, they jerks. If they in the NFL, Major League Baseball, they jerks because they've been entitled for so long. They expect you to cater to them. I don't expect people to cater to me. I'm gonna show up to work, and if I'm good enough, I'm good enough, and if I'm not, I'm not. So but it was scary though. Don't make no mistake about it. I could put on a happy face, but I was scared to death because you don't know. Because I mean, my friends got 10, 12 years experience, work experience. I have none. So
it's kind of hard to put that on a resume. Run a
exactly. People.
I can block it down. I can block a lineman.
Of course, they are. It's a good conversation starter. Oh yeah, you did this and you did that. Yeah. Well, I don't know how that translates to what we want you to do.
Right.
But I think the biggest thing with me was if I'm telling a person, if I have the ability to generate interest from a billionaire who doesn't get interested by much, I can help you. I can help your organization. You just put me in a position to where you have patience with me, and I think that's what it was. Like, what was it about me that generated interest from a billionaire? And I realized, while I still don't know what generated interest from me, I just say, you know what, I can function in a business, and that's the biggest thing. Most guys, they can't function in a business. So, and at the same time too, man, thank God for these radio waves, man, because I get a chance to vent every week. I get a chance to just Twitter and podcast and huddlecast. I get to say things like, Jay Cutler is a bum, which he's not, but I get to say that. I get to say that kind of stuff. So
it's interesting to me because every time I talk to an ex-player, it's a lot of them don't pay any attention to football. You're kind of a little bit of an outlier from my experience. I know a lot of ex-players who follow it kind of casually, mostly more college than they do NFL. So, to me, I think that's kind of cool that you still do.
Well, I mean, I'm not a weirdo.
Oh,
I'm not. I mean, most guys don't follow.
And I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I think
Can you hear him, Kate?
No.
Can you hear me now? Hold on, did I cut out?
We can.
Yeah, we can't hear
Hello?
you.
Hello?
Okay, talk. Okay, no, he still can't hear him.
Can you hear me now?
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Uh-oh.
I want to talk to Ben some more.
Hold on.
Ben!
And can you hear me
I want to
now?
ask him if he's glad they didn't have Twitter when he was playing.
Hello?
Twitter and Instagram and TMZ.
Hello? Can you hear me now?
Facebook.
Oh, and Facebook.
Did you guys make sure you updated your statuses?
Huh?
Don't make me smack you. I had to tweet I had to Facebook the Batman and Robin picture of Robin with that status and Batman just smacking him in the face. I can't believe people
I saw that. I was like, that is so awesome. That's why I love you, Kate.
What happened? Did I miss something?
No. Nothing fancy.
Every once in a while, there's this hoax that works its way around Facebook where you have to say you want your account kept private or something, and it's just crap. But people buy into it. Ben, are you back?
Yeah, can you hear
hey,
me?
Ben.
Okay, I don't know.
I can't hear him.
I can't still hear you. I don't
His
know.
microphone. Who hit the mute button?
It wasn't me.
Okay,
Hold on.
we'll ask him questions
He's
and he'll
not-
write his answers on a piece of paper.
He's not muted. You're not muted in here.
No, I'm not muted. I can hear y'all.
Can't hear you, Ben.
Can you?
Ben, we'll get you back in here soon. We promise.
All
We'll
right.
get you back in here soon, and we'll let you talk to your little heart's content.
Yes, we will, because you're fun. We like
Very
you.
He's a
fun.
ton of personality. I've talked to a lot of ex-players and done interviews with them and stuff. They're not fun. They're boring. You can't get an answer out of him. And Ben is just a hoot. He seems to have a great sense of humor. He doesn't take himself too seriously. He's having a lot of fun. That'd be perfect for podcast or radio.
Yeah.
Exactly. We got to get him back.
Yeah, he's definitely fun. I can speak to that. So, all right. Well, let's go ahead and
let's keep moving on.
Let's keep moving on, Sonja. Let's get ready to hit your segment, Sonja's Unsung Hero.
My unsung hero. Bink, 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 bink.
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang. Okay, so this week, I actually got another couple good suggestions for an unsung hero. And actually, though, while I appreciate our guests, and they did suggest Larry Fitzgerald, and I was like, yes, totally awesome. You know, Carson Palmer's healthy. The Arizona Cardinals are, killing it out there. And, yeah, we get them 5, so that's very good. But you know what? I didn't want to go with Larry Fitzgerald just because, he's great. But who I really wanted to target this week was Tyrann Mathieu on the same team.
Yeah.
I wanted to give him a shout-out and some love. Yes, the Honey Badger. Because, he's actually gotten NFL and done a pretty good job.
Yes.
He had those issues coming out of college, and everybody was just kind of, what do we do? What's going on with Tyrann? And so, last week he had 2 interceptions. He's playing really good, and so shout out to you for being the unsung hero.
Yeah,
because he's doing a really good job, and
go Honey Badger.
Honey Badger. Honey Badger.
And I just have to say, I have the Arizona Cardinals defense in at least 2 of my leagues that are, not best ball leagues. And I was sitting there in amazement because not 1 pass, not 2 passes. Well, yeah, 2 passes. The first, doing, pick 6. And I was all.
Exactly. He had a big game. He had a big game this week. So, really stepping up, really picking it up. So, good job, Tyrann Mathieu. You're doing a really good job. I see you. Keeping clean and being just all-around good guy. So proud of you.
I like it.
Anybody else got any suggestions? Hit me up as always.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely.
All right, so now that we've talked about my unsung hero, and like I said, Larry Fitz, you always get props, so there you go.
He gets a lot of props. I'm glad
does.
that you, and
He
nothing
does.
against Larry Fitzgerald,
Not
who
at all.
is a sweetheart, but it's the unsung hero is somebody who's not sung. And I think
Exactly.
Sonja picked a perfect person.
Ooh, I
Kate,
think.
is there anybody that you want to shout out? NFL good guy?
Well, Gator was a receiver in the NFL who played for the Browns and a couple other teams, and he's actually from the northeastern Ohio area. And he's one of those guys who went home after his football career was over and has settled here, and he owns a few laundromats, and he's actually launching a new business here in the area called Wash Club Cleveland. There's an app you can do on your phone, and he describes it as being like Uber for your clothes. But, in the old day, people used to send their clothes out, their shirts out to get cleaned and pressed and whatnot. You can actually go on your phone and schedule a pickup, and someone, it could even be Joe Juravicious, will show up at your house within 24 hours and pick up your clothes and bring them back within another 24 hours, cleaned and pressed and ready to go. And it seems a little old-fashioned, but at the same time,
That's a huge
I'm married with
convenience.
kids and I do laundry, but I can see a lot of, single people or young couples who don't have time to do that. And it's really very reasonably priced if you consider dry cleaning bills and everything else. It's actually about the same price as a dry cleaner, and you don't have to take it anywhere. And I just think it's kind of cool that he's doing that here, back where he started from. And I like when players leave, and then they come back and bring their experience and their connections and their new business ventures or whatever it is back to their hometown and try to share the love in a way that'll help the economy back where they're from. So I thought that was kind of cool when I heard about that this week.
That is very
Yeah, that
cool.
is very cool.
That
I always
is
like to
very-
highlight guys doing good out there in the community, and so we're going to continue to do that. This is going to be a regular segment here on the Zone Blitz, Sonja's Unsung Heroes. So definitely be sure to hit her up on Twitter, on Facebook, or send it out to
Anywhere.
NFL Female at NFL Female out there in Twitter land, and let us know what your nominations are. If you've got a good guy in your community out there doing good things, let us know about it.
Yeah, we want to hear about it. We do. All right, so what's next up? We got fantasy talk. Is that
Fantasy football talk, as always. Let's talk about injuries first, because that is part and parcel of the fantasy football experience. And I suppose a couple of the bigger injuries, we've got Marshawn Lynch. Marshawn Lynch. Beast mode is not so beastly these days, and so that's a fairly significant situation for the Seattle Seahawks. We could possibly add one Thomas Rawls to our unsung hero.
We
Although
could.
We're talking about on the field stuff. I mean, wow, where'd that guy come from?
Michigan, to be exact. Yeah, got him.
Baby.
Well, and it's interesting because I really thought when they signed Fred Jackson that he would take over the load when Marshawn went out, but he didn't. This Thomas Rawls kid did a very nice job. Lynch is listed as questionable for this week. They don't play until Monday Night Football, I believe, against, who is it? Oh, that's right, the Detroit Lions. So Rawls would definitely be a good pickup this week, or even Fred Jackson, because you don't know with the time they've had to get ready which one of them will get better yards this week.
Yeah, and if he's out there, I don't know, probably not, but maybe they'll start to get one young Mr. Tyler Lockett involved, and he's a guy that you can line up a variety of ways, and maybe you might see him take a snap or two out of the backfield. He could be the Percy Harvin that they wanted and just couldn't tolerate.
Exactly. Injury-wise, somebody else who got me, DeMarco Murray, was out last week. Yeah. I mean, I don't think he was.
It was rough for running backs because Chris Ivory for Jets didn't play either. Murray and Ivory are both expected to be back this week, but I'm guessing Ivory will be back before Murray. I think Murray's got a little bit of a whiner issue going on, and things are not happy even after the win in Eagle Land, and so he and Chip Kelly may not be seeing eye to eye on a game plan. We'll have to see. I'd like to see him get back active and get back on the field.
Yeah.
So but running backs were troublesome this week because they either didn't play or they went out early. Quarterbacks are also becoming an issue with Ben Roethlisberger being out.
Oh, yeah.
In like 4 to 6 weeks, Michael Vick will be getting the start in Pittsburgh. That could be an interesting situation. We haven't had any picketing at any of the games so far this year, so we'll see if you get the APL folks picketing.
You would think not. I mean, and listen, what Michael Vick did was awful. He paid the price. He spent he served his time in prison. He's done, about the best that he possibly could to try to rehabilitate himself from that situation. My biggest issue with Michael Vick these days is he acts like he doesn't care out on the football field.
Yeah.
And the last few efforts, and I use that term loosely, that we've seen from him have not been very pretty, and once my article gets published, I talk about that in there. We're getting ready to see how good Pittsburgh Steelers, Antonio Brown, and Le'Veon Bell really are, because Michael Vick is serviceable, I suppose. It would not shock me if he's only their quarterback for 2 games, and if they didn't look for another option, because
I wouldn't be surprised.
I just don't think they're going to win with him, and so we'll see. We'll see about that.
It depends on how seriously he takes the opportunity. I was surprised when Pittsburgh signed him in the first place, because I'm with you. I didn't think his heart was really in it. I didn't think he'd been trying his last couple outings at different places. And Pittsburgh didn't usually put up with that kind of foolishness. They let James Harrison go and made him go learn to behave in Cincinnati and then brought him back. But he's been a different person since they brought him back. And so I will say that about the organization. They don't usually put up with, half-hearted effort and that kind of stuff. So I'm looking to see him play well this week. And if not, you're right, 2 weeks and they'll be looking for somebody else to get behind center. Sammy Watkins, from a wide receiver standpoint, Sammy Watkins was a big loss to the Baltimore Bills this last week. Left the game, did not return. He suffered a minor a calf injury that could keep him out again this week. He's really their biggest offensive weapon and threat, and if they need to give him another week to make sure he's 100%, they're going to do it now. So Sammy Watkins is a guy that's tough if he's on your fantasy roster. And I know Clay is listed as a tight end, but he's a nice little target there in Buffalo, and he's someone that I'm going to think is going to get a lot of catches this week. So if you've got Gronkowski who's on a bye this week and you're looking for a tight end replacement, Clay out of Buffalo might be a good option for you.
Yeah, and it also sounds like the Ravens aren't going to be playing Crockett Gilmore. He's a guy that's his status is a little bit up in the air. So a lot of people are going to be out there looking for tight end help. And Max Williams, I think he was out targeted over Crockett Gilmore like 3-1, something like that. It was a significant difference. So if you've got Crockett Gilmore on your fantasy football roster, definitely be looking for other options. And that's a great one, Kate. And Shady's dinged up. We've talked about him a little bit, and it's always been from the preseason, and I follow the Bills very closely anyway, but once the preseason started, of course, Carlos Williams had that weird injury. But
I know, and I picked him up cheap.
Yeah, I picked him up cheap, too. He's not a handcuff. He is a guy that is a plug-and-play kind of guy, and if Shady misses any significant time more than a plug-and-play guy, I think he's a guy that you're going to want to insert into your roster and play. Because he is a legitimate option. He's a legitimate threat. And, Tyrod Taylor, what can we say about that young man? My goodness, he's tearing it up. He's been a top.
But I'm not comfortable enough to pick him up in my fantasy leagues yet.
Oh, I am. I've played him.
Williams this week as my second running back because Bishop Sankey's on a bye week. If I had a keeper league, I'd probably look at picking him up.
Well, I mean, he's been a top 5 fantasy quarterback every single week. He was the top 2 fantasy quarterback in week 3. He was like the top 2 or top 3 fantasy quarterback in week 2. He's like one of the top quarterbacks on FanDuel. So, people should be adding him to their roster. He's legitimate.
Yeah.
The only other injury that I had of note, and really I don't know how many people owned him anyway, was San Francisco's Vernon Davis. And I only bring him up because San Francisco's turning into a giant dumpster fire. I don't know that there's anybody on that team worth being on anybody's roster.
No, I'm getting ready to drop
them maybe Phil Dawson, the kicker. But aside from that,
Carlos Hyde. You should hang on to Carlos Hyde.
They better find a way. Tomasula better find a way to turn that team around and figure out what is going on with Kaepernick.
He's not going to.
Awful.
Was he a one-hit wonder that year they went to the Super Bowl? Did they pull the trigger on getting rid of Alex Smith too soon?
Yes.
Because I have not been impressed with Kaepernick since then. And when you had Frank Gore, it made everything else look right. And Carlos isn't quite the runner Frank is. He can be, but their offensive line, without Aldon Smith and with all the other problems they've been having, they can't run the ball like they did when Gore was there. Your quarterback play needs to be a little bit. It's almost like the Pittsburgh situation. Ben Roethlisberger makes up for a lot of issues with the offensive line in Pittsburgh. Michael Vick can't hide behind that line and escape. He's not an escape artist like Ben is. And now Kaepernick isn't, I don't think, good enough to deal with an offensive line that isn't really great, and they're just a dumpster fire.
Boo, I'm sorry. I just now saw your text. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to be alone? I'll go
get a room, girls. Get a room. I sent Sonja a text. I was like, "Where are you, Boo?" And then I started talking to Ben, and I was like, "Okay." Sorry. Yeah, Sonja and I already talked a little bit about our fantasy football
Matchup.
duel. We dueled each other this week, and I played Liz in Lisa's league for NFL female, and I was just fortunate enough that Jeremy Macklin got going, and my team in Lisa's league is really good. So that was going to be a tough game. I kind of lucked up there, just the way it's weird how my ESPN team, my C3 team, stinks to high heaven. Woof. It's awful.
Mine actually is not so bad right now. I don't know what
you were undefeated.
Hey. Well, oh yeah, I was until I met up with you. And it was so close, just like you said. So close.
Well, the bye week start, which I hate. This week it's the New England Patriots and the Tennessee Titans on a bye, which is wreaking havoc with a couple of my teams. I actually have Brady and Gronk on two of my teams. Surprisingly, the two teams that are like 3-0, so go figure. So I'm going to have to spend a little time. I did seriously purge my team of anyone that wears brown and orange on Sundays. Today I just dropped them. I didn't bother trading anybody. I just dropped them all and put out some waiver wire things. So I'm going to have to spend some time working on my rosters tomorrow. But a lot of people forget, Wednesday you got to pick people up. There are games on Thursday.
I know.
Make sure you've got options.
Who's the Thursday game this week?
Well, it's short week. Pittsburgh and is it Pittsburgh and?
I think it's is it Pittsburgh, Baltimore?
I want to say.
It is Pittsburgh.
Oof.
Pittsburgh, Baltimore, I believe, because we're having Rita on the show Friday morning. We're going to do a pre-record with her. So yeah, I think that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have Tom Brady. He's my quarterback in my ESPN league. I'm going to have to replace him. And I've got Torrey Smith. I hate to. I think Torrey Smith is a talented wide receiver, but I'm getting rid of all my 49ers players except for Carlos Hyde. I'm going to get rid of Vernon Davis. I'm going to get rid of I might hang on to Anquan Bolden because I think that if anybody's going to get going, it might be him. I don't know. We'll have to see. I hate to get rid of Torrey Smith, but we'll see.
I have to say, yeah. I don't think I have too many 49ers on my teams. Thank goodness.
And I have Carlos Hyde. He's, you're getting points from him. I tell you one guy I'm sitting, and I don't have any hesitation about him. That's Jeremy Hill. He's not cracking my lineup until he gets going. I'm over it.
Exactly. Yep. Nope.
So,
totally agree.
So, I'm trying to think if there's anything else fantasy football wise to talk about. I don't think so. Let's go ahead and do Straight Up with Sharona, and this is kind of designed maybe to be a little bit of a,
edgy.
Maybe kind of not what we don't like what people are doing, but I have to say this. I didn't get a chance to really talk about it too much, but I was not sure how the fooling around with the extra point was going to work. I was a little apprehensive about if I was going to like that because I'm used to the way things were, and people generally don't like change, but I am going to have to say that I like the new extra point. It does add an extra element to the game. There have been some misses, and so yeah, it's one of the few things that the NFL has done right lately. On the other hand, I have absolutely no idea what a catch is anymore. I don't think anybody knows what a catch is anymore, and hey, NFL, if your rules regarding what a catch is are longer than the tax code, maybe you might want to rethink that because nobody seems to know, and it's a problem.
A catch is like it's like that old saying about pornography. I don't know what it is, but I know it when I see it. A catch is the eye test. I know what a catch is when I see it. When I see a catch, I know what a catch is, and you can tell when it hits the ground when it's not. I'm struggling with not only what a catch is, but with apparently the instant replay rules and the camera angles and how they're making decisions on whether or not to overturn or confirm calls. It's just I saw some very bizarre calls in last week's game. One of them was the touchdown in the Thursday night game with the Giants where Coughlin tried to get it reviewed and they gave him a penalty for throwing the red flag, and that play was never booth reviewed, or they would have seen he was down before he got to the end zone, and then they took one of the Giants' timeouts away. And I hate to be Homer girl, but to the Cleveland Browns-Oakland Raiders game, when Roberts caught that touchdown, 2 Raiders defenders, Charles Woodson being one of them, set the pick and roll on my Browns players. You can't set a pick. You can't have 2 guys holding a guy off to the back. I'm not happy with what I'm seeing from the officiating lately, and I think a lot of the play is sloppy, which is why we're getting injuries, and it's something I know we've talked about here before. They're not using the preseason the right way. They're not really practicing because of the CBA rules, and so you're starting the regular season with offensive lines that haven't played together. Quarterbacks are getting hurt. Receivers and running backs are getting hurt. Refs have forgotten how to call games. The first few weeks of the season have really, for maybe 80% of the games, just been shamefully bad to watch.
Yeah, you know, it's that whole be careful what you ask for. You know, you just might get it, and a lot of the things that the players have asked for haven't necessarily, and I say players because it's the union on their behalf, and I think that the union is populated with guys who legitimately care. But as we've seen, the CBA has a lot of issues. It has a ton of issues, and things that they have touted as being, progressive for the players really are not so much. And, maybe they should have paid more attention to, things like discipline and other things instead of, doing stuff like that ultimately is going to hurt the players.
I would suggest this change to the CBA, and I feel safe saying this because my team sucks. If you're 8-8 or better, you get the schedule that we have now. If you are below 500, you get 2-a-days, and you get as many 2-a-days as the coaches think you need until you get your record back up to 800.
Yeah,
or back up to
500.
Yeah. Some of
That's
these
interesting.
Games could use a little more practice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I guess I think that if it's an injury concern, it's an injury concern across the league and not necessarily geared toward which teams are better or whatnot. Because if guys are coming in and they're not able to get themselves into football shape, and there is a difference between being in shape physically and being in football shape, they really need more of an opportunity to get in football shape before they actually hit the field and start getting hit in real life.
Now you're asking them to take personal responsibility for themselves during the off season. Are you crazy?
That's hard, though. Personal responsibility.
They do have OTAs, and they have to report to OTAs, and they have to make weight and all of that stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely an interesting topic that needs to be looked at. I completely agree with that.
Yeah. I took us way off topic, but back to your original point about the extra point being longer.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that more of them are going for 2. But now it's harder for me when I see the scores to figure out who did what. Because when I saw the Steelers were beating the Rams 12-9, my first thought was it's a field goal battle. Not they had 2 touchdowns and they went for 2 points both times and didn't get it. So it's just harder for me to figure out how they got to the points they got. Thinking in multiples of 7, and now we have 6s and 8s to deal with.
Yeah, no, I completely, it is. It has led to some really weird scores. We've got some time. I know Sonja has a lot to say about her Detroit Lions. So, Sonja, girl, I just don't know.
Joe Lombardi's not going to be an unsung hero anytime soon.
I just don't know, girl.
I don't know. And it's scary, actually. I mean, just how awful they're playing and the schedule that they have. It's a tough schedule.
It is.
And I don't see them winning, honestly, probably any more than like 3 games.
Do we still think the NFC is a better conference than the AFC? That's kind of been the traditional wisdom the last couple of years.
I would still say, though, that right now the NFC might be a little bit stronger than the AFC. I mean, but I will
I
say
don't
that,
think it's as much more stronger than it has been, if that made any sense at all.
right. I will say that there are other teams in the AFC starting to kind of pull up a little bit, like, the Buffaloes of the world. Because, they're playing very well.
They really are.
And they are. And the Cincinnatis of the world, didn't forget about them, They're playing very well. But
Jeremy Hill might be sucking it up, but they're 3-0.
Exactly. And so, you look at the NFC and you got your big guys are still there. Seattle, they just need to kind of pick it up just a little bit more. I mean, the fact that the Bears did hold them just to 3 points, that just make me kind of say, maybe the Lions can hold them to 10 in the first quarter. I don't know.
I don't think the Seahawks are as strong this year. Definitely not. And we talked about the 49ers. Right now, it looks like the Cardinals and
I'm looking at the standings, and they're pretty even. The AFC's got 3 teams at 3-0, and the NFC has 4 teams. But the AFC only has 1 team at 0-3 in the Baltimore Ravens, and there are the Saints, the Lions, the Bears are all winless. So there's a lot more crappy teams in the NFC.
Well, I don't know. You got the AFC South in the AFC, and they're all 1-2.
They're all 1-2. But we've got a bunch of teams at 3-0 and 2-1. It just feels like it's the AFC's catching up.
I think the AFC has caught up a little bit. Completely agree with that.
The Bears are all having pretty decent. Even Miami they have teams that look good, that look like better than what their records are for some of them right now. And I would say there are some NFC teams who are far better than what their record is right now. Especially,
I agree with that. I completely agree with that, and it's going to be interesting. It is definitely going to be interesting. Let's finish up the show with some old man football talk. It was a good Sunday for some old man football, which warms my heart. Peyton Manning still, old man still getting it done. The Broncos are undefeated, looking like they might actually do it.
But then again, don't look too much into it, though, okay? Because it was just against the Lions, so don't get too excited.
Well, they won 2 more games. That was the Packers last night beating the Chiefs, but they beat, who else did they?
They did beat the Chiefs. They had to come from behind to beat
the
them.
Chiefs, yeah.
And then, who did they open against?
I don't remember.
I can't remember either.
I don't remember. But beyond him, Charles Woodson, we already talked about that with that. Very nice play that he made. Frank Gore really put it on the Tennessee Titans. And
Ravens, sorry.
Excuse me. Really had some nice fantasy points on all my benches. And let's see, who else?
Steve Smith had some great.
Steve
Smith Jr. on the bench.
27 trash, 24 trash.
Is it fair for me to consider Larry Fitzgerald one of the old guys? Because I just feel like he's been playing forever. He's had a couple, 2, 3, multiple touchdown games.
DeMarcus Ware.
Oh, yep.
Julius Peppers.
And your boy Von Miller.
Yeah, with the not safe for work dance. You might want to tone it down a little bit there, buddy.
Just a teeny bit. Tiny bit.
Just a teeny bit. All right. Well, shout out to Bench
ballin'.
Yeah, old men be balling. I like it. And Tom Brady, 400 touchdown passes, Looks like a man on a mission, so Patriots undefeated.
Did you hear that his appeal for his case is scheduled for the first week of February?
It actually hasn't been scheduled. They said that the order, that was a false report. But it will be set.
Because that was all over the ESPN when I got home from work, is that it wouldn't be till after the Super Bowl, so they were already saying that it was rigged to not interfere with the season. I don't want it to interfere with the season. I want it to be what it is, start next season with whatever punishment you're going to
want it done.
I agree.
Done.
Roger needs to learn to let things go, and he doesn't do that. So.
No.
Yeah, it's, we'll see.
That's, you know what, maybe we should have the Frozen Award to who should just let it go. There's a thought.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so shout out to Ben Troupe for joining us tonight. Sonia, I know that we've got some great guests coming up. We're getting ready to start our tour through our OFRs, so give us a little preview on that.
Yep. So next couple weeks we're going to take a break as we hopefully finally switch over to our Spreecast. So get your accounts going so that you guys can go ahead and interact with us live while we are on air. So that'll be great. And then once we get switched over, we are going to start having, I think we start off with our Denver OFR, Leora, and then a couple of our division OFRs are going to be coming on. So, yeah, we're going to get some good peoples on. Dana, our Seahawks reporter, is coming on, so that'll be fun. We get to talk about what's going on in the Pacific Northwest. So we got some good peoples coming up. So make sure you guys get your Spreecast going so that you can interact with us. Can't wait.
Yep. Yeah, and we'll definitely be putting out some more information about Spreecast and when we're going to go live on there and all of that. So as always, thanks for tuning in. I'll let Sonia get us started to go out.
All right. Well, thanks again, Ben, for joining us. You were great. Can't wait to have you back on. I'm Sonia, the official fan reporter for the Detroit Lions for NFL Female. You can catch me on Twitter at mom2, 3RN. My Pride report, week 3, will be coming out soon, hopefully very soon. So you can check me out on there, see if you agree, disagree, whatever. I don't care. But as always, it's been fun with my boo Sharona and my friend Kate with her Buckeye stuff. Oh my gosh, but Kate knows I love her. She's my boo.
Every day for Saturday in November.
Exactly. November 28th is coming. So thank you guys so much. Kate, go ahead.
I am Cleveland Kate, official fan reporter for the Cleveland Browns. I also have my own radio show, Talking Sports with Cleveland's Kate, on Voice It Radio, Mondays and Fridays at 6 p.m. You can catch me on the Twitter at CLDLNDK8.
All right. I am Sharona. You can follow me on Twitter at Sports by Sharona. You can check out my podcast every Monday and Wednesday at 10 o'clock a.m. Central Time, Back Talk with Sharona, and on Game Over with Vashti and Sharona on Friday morning, always on Tuesday nights here, and on Wednesday nights with Zach Law, talking fantasy football and NFL. Tomorrow night's guest is Emery Hunt. So very excited to have him. And in the morning, we're going to have Aaron Nagler from FanDuel. Emery's going to join me for a segment on college football, and we're also going to talk about women's football, which is a little bit different from what we see here overseas with Adam Barlow, and some NBA talk with Nick Simmons. So stay tuned in for that.
Fun.
Yeah, shout out to Liz as always, and we'll be back soon. So stay tuned in. You've been watching the Zone Blitz by NFL Female.